Okay, welcome back. So now I would like to add a couple of filters. So we want a couple more filters so we have more things to play with. The first filter I'd like to add will be one to do grayscale. So to do that, I need to be able to determine the average intensity of the red, blue, green. Uh, so I'm going to add a new method to our RGBA pixel. Call it public var average intensity, and we want to return a uint8. Okay, so this is only going to be a getter. We don't have the ability to get it because it's going to be derived by looking at the other pixels. So how do we compute the average intensity? Well, we're going to add the red, the blue, and the green together, and then we're going to divide it by 3. But we need to take into account integer overflow. So we want a 32-bit version of red, a 32-bit version of green, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's do that. I'll go uint32 red plus uint32 green plus uint32 guess blue. That wasn't hard. Okay, we need to sum those all together. So surround it with parentheses. And then we're going to divide the whole thing by 3. And that's pretty close. Now we're going to be returning that. And it's going to tell us that, it's probably going to tell us that's too big. And we know that you can actually fit all of that inside of a uint8, which is what we need to return. Okay, that should do it. So there's our average intensity. We add those up, divide by 3, bring it back to uint8. Now let's go to our filters and let's do a grayscale filter. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to call it grayscale. Right. And for a grayscale filter, we just want to bring in a pixel and do something to it. What do we want to do? I'll whack this. Okay. First of all, I want to get the intensity, and that's equal to the pixel average intensity. Cool. Now I want to construct a new pixel. And that brings me back to this. I don't actually have a convenient way of passing an RGB value and having it create a pixel. So let's add that. We'll go public initializer R, which is a uint8. Yeah. G. And B. Okay. Now, I could implement this by, initializing initial value, then calling each of these setters. But actually, we want this to be fairly performant. This is going to get called thousands of times. So let's just assemble it right on the spot. Let's say raw is equal to, now let's put in 0x ff 000000. Okay, what did that do? So that sets the alpha channel to all ones. And then we want to add the contribution from the other bits. So let's OR that with uint32 of the red. Okay. And let's also OR it with uint32 G Okay, I'm going to shift that in a second. int32 RGB. Okay, the G value needs to be shifted. Needs to be shifted 8 bits, and this needs to be shifted 16 bits. Okay, I think that's what we want to do. Let's give that a shot. So let's switch back to our filters. Where's filters? There it is. And now we can go return RGBA pixel. Okay, and now we can assign the red is equal to the intensity. And by the way, the red, blue, RG, green is equal to intensity, and the blue is also set to the intensity. Okay, I think that about does it. Let's test that out. I'm going to go back to go to our view controller, and we're just going to add a new filter called the Grayscale Filter. And for the moment, I don't care about these other two effects. And let's just run it. So if everything worked out, we should see a black and white photo. And the survey says, yes, black and white. Good. Okay, ours is grayscale. You know what I mean. Okay, so that seems to have worked. Let's add one more for good luck. And my daughter, by special request, she really likes the invert effect. So for our last filter, copy, paste, we'll call it the invert filter. Okay, so an invert is where we take each of the pixel, well, I'm making this up. I want to take each pixel intensity and invert it. If it's a max value of red, I want the min value. If it's, exactly, you get the idea. So this should be fairly simple. What we want to do is, for the red, we want it to be equal to 0xFF minus the pixel red value. Okay, and for the green, we want it to be 0xFF minus the pixel's green value. And for the blue, we want it to be shocking, 0xFF minus the pixel's blue value. That looks about right. Okay, I'm going to take that invert filter, going to go over here. We're going to use invert instead. Let's give it a shot and see how weird that looks. With luck, we should get, oh, what did I do wrong? Invert filter. Oh, invert filter. That's what I did wrong. Copy paste error. Nice. Okay, so now we have this weird inverted image. Okay, that looks good for this lesson. Let's move along.